I'm always trying to become more and more self-aware of what's going on inside of my ADD brain, because I don't want this thing to run wild. I don't want to let this thing off the leash, because crazy things will happen. And part of self-awareness as an adult with ADHD is identifying what your triggers are. You know, those things that happen that cause you to go down that negative road of thinking, that become impulsive and give into all of those ADHD tendencies. Ultimately, your brain gets hijacked. I love how Penny Williams uses that. It's a great illustration, and that's what happens. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do is to identify your triggers. The problem is that typically you are triggered and have gone down that wrong road and aren't thinking rational. So you're not going to identify it in that moment. You've got to identify it when you come back into a place of rational thinking. And that means you need to be deliberate about looking back at that crappy situation and saying, okay, why did I feel this way? What caused me to act out the way that I did? What caused me to have my brain be hijacked and think the things that it thought? Sometimes it's going to take a person reminding you, because when you get back to that place of rational thinking, you just want things to be normal again. You don't want to rehash that negative feeling, because that in itself could end up being a trigger. But if you don't identify the trigger, you can't create accommodations to avoid it. If you just let it go, it'll continue to happen again and again and again and again. For example, these triggers can come in a variety of ways. It could happen because somebody says something, you do something, somebody does something. It could happen at work. It could be something that you see or hear. A lot of times these triggers happen because of something you actually do yourself. For example, me, I lose stuff all the time. I hate losing stuff. It angers me like nothing else. So much so that I even grow horns. And I've identified this as being one of my triggers. And so now I've created an accommodation. And it took me a while to create the discipline to do this. But now when I walk into my house or into my hotel room, I put my keys, my phone, my wallet, my essentials, the things that I absolutely cannot lose, in what I call an essentials location. And so once you identify what your triggers are, here's the best part, through self-awareness, you can then create accommodations to avoid them. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.